lads, my name is May and today we're going to be talking about journaling slumps and creative cycles. First, I would like to say that I got the idea of creative cycles from an overall adventures video, of course, and her video on that will be linked down below. So first let's talk about the stigma around journaling and journaling slumps. Now, journaling is a very big thing online and statistically it's what most of you guys come to my channel for. And I think this is great, don't get me wrong. It's how I discovered journaling, it's how I discovered the goddess that is overall adventures, and it's how I managed to find the stuff that worked for me and the stuff that didn't. But as with everything, there is of course a negative side to journaling online. There's the stigma that your journal has to look beautiful. I think a lot of this might come from the fact that the journaling community and the bullet journaling community kind of cross paths at some point. But the main thing I wanted to talk about today is journaling slumps, because I've found at least there's kind of a pressure to write every single day in your journal, or you're not really good at it, or you're not good enough to journal. But this is stupid, this is silly, it's really ruffling my feathers, let's say, and as I've been thinking about it, I've started to form certain opinions on it. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't journaled in a month, and you know what? I'm loving it. Do I hate journaling? No, I love it. It's something that makes me who I am. But having taken this break of a month without journaling, it got me thinking. Now, I won't waste your time and I might do a separate video on why journaling is for you. You can journal when you want, where you want, however you want, because you're just gonna lose the appeal of journaling if you force yourself to do it. I'm very passionate about this subject, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about today was a thought that came to me over this journaling slump I've had for the past month. This got me thinking about creative cycles. Now, in Overall Adventures video, she talks about creative cycles and how you can't be creative constantly. We can't consistently pump out the same level of work. Instead, creativity comes in waves. For example, one week I might have all of the story ideas in the world, but then the next week I could have complete writer's block. And I was thinking about it, and I think this is not only incredibly accurate, but it also applies to many different things. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's not just waves of one thing, if that makes sense. I'm going to use myself as an example here because I just think it's easier to explain that way. But basically, my passion for writing in my journal comes in waves. Like a couple of months ago, I couldn't stop writing. It was all I wanted to do, write in my journal. But now I just don't want to at all. It makes me feel weird, like it's not the right time to write right now. And this is where I find other ways to express myself. Stay with me. There are many ways I express myself and I've narrowed it down to like a kind of short list. Number one is of course journaling. Number two is creative writing. Number three is art, like drawing and painting. Number three is music. Number four is music. Number five is making my videos. And number six is playing The Sims 4 on my laptop. These 6 things are what I instinctively go to when I'm feeling stressed or when I need a break. These are my escape and the way I express myself creatively. But again, it got me thinking, if I have creative waves for journaling, does that mean I have creative waves for everything? Yes. Yes, I do. And I got really excited about it and now I want to talk about it. I have a conspiracy theory. Not a conspiracy theory, it's straight fact, actually. Basically, let's say I have my creative cycle, and in it are those 6 things I just described. Let's say for 1 week, I can't stop journaling at all. It's all I want to do. I don't want to draw, I don't want to play Sims, I don't want to play my ukulele. I just want to bury myself in my journal and write. But then the next week, it can like shift, and then all of a sudden, I want to play my ukulele and make videos for you guys, and then it shifts again, and I'm really into Sims, and it just keeps going. And I found this really fascinating. I really enjoy thinking about this. And of course the order isn't always the same. Sometimes it twists back, sometimes it goes really fast or really slow. Sometimes the phases overlap and I want to do more things at once. And other times I can't be interested in anything, I just want to sleep. And if you don't believe me, I have somewhat evidence to prove it. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know I don't upload consistently. I want to say roughly about once every 1 or 2 months. I'll upload a big chunk of videos and then nothing at all. And then a big chunk of videos and nothing at all. And if you follow my art Instagram, I don't know if I've actually linked to my YouTube and my art Instagram yet, I haven't really mentioned it, but this is it if you're interested at all. Some days I post 3 times a day and other days I can just go for weeks without posting basically. However, throughout this whole time, I'm still expressing myself in a way that feels right. I'm relaxed, I'm finding my escape from the responsibilities of high school, and I'm making myself very, very happy in a way that feels good. And also not applying pressure on myself to stick to certain habits. I can already tell this video is coming across as very ranty, but basically, as a summary, I think this system is a really healthy way to express myself in a creative way. There's no point forcing yourself to write or paint or draw, because at that point the things that you enjoy become unenjoyable. I think as long as you follow your creative cycle within reason, as in like you're still staying on top of your schoolwork and you're still giving yourself time to deal with those boring responsibilities, and I think it's a really beneficial way to express yourself. But the question is, folks, do you have a creative cycle? And how can you use it to your advantage? So what do we do with this information? If this has sparked an idea in you, maybe you can go off now and try and figure out what your creative cycle is. Maybe try not to overthink it too much, but perhaps you can do like a bullet journal spread, and across the month you can take note of what you wanted to do today to procrastinate or to make yourself relax. What was your instinct to do? Yeah. And I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be a creative outlet either. Like I said earlier, I'm interested in playing Sims sometimes. That's part of my cycle. You might be entirely interested in video games, but just rotate through different ones. I think, and I'm gonna keep saying this, if you are expressing yourself healthily and happily, I think that's lovely, and you shouldn't feel pressured to do anything just to fit an aesthetic. Now the question is, how do we manage it? Because I entirely understand the temptation to draw all day and not touch homework at all. But unfortunately, we need to have a balance. It's quite strange actually. I've been very creative all day and I've been itching to do homework. Is homework part of my creative cycle? Maybe you could find a certain time of day to be creative. Typically, I'm a night owl, so I usually want to be creative right before bed, but I've fallen out of that habit recently, so I'm going to try some other stuff. And if you like, I'll make a separate video on time management. I understand this was a bit of a rambly video. This is my first like proper scripted video as well, so I'm kind of seeing how that goes. But I think to summarize, I am very passionate for people being able to express themselves in the way that they want to. And like I said, I've noticed online, as many people have, there are pressures. There are expectations to find the perfect filter, to stick with one aesthetic, to have a certain brand and schedule that you need to stick to. And I think that's bonkers. That's bonkers. Zoink Scoob. You should find the time for a creative outlet that feels right for you. And there should be no pressure on you to stick to a certain thing, to draw every day, to practice every day, to write every day. Because ultimately, if you're doing these things for yourself, I think it's important you decide why you want to do them and how you want to do them. I think I may have rambled enough today, but thank you very much for watching. We just hit 100 subscribers. 100! Well, 101 technically, but I know it's little, but I think it's pretty sick. Anyway, I hope you're having a really lovely day and you are expressing yourself in a creative way that feels right for you and you're not letting anyone else influence that. Please be happy. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.